Hello, this is TJ from TJOmega.net. Joining me today at Metrocon 2018, we have Caleb Hyles.
Hi, I'm Caleb Hyles.
Hi.
He's TJOmega.
I'm TJOmega, yeah.
We're here.
It's Metrocon.
It's Metrocon. Tampa Bay.
We are certainly here.
Tampa Bay. Hot outside. It's going to be raining on and off. And all the nerds are out. We're out in full.
I got to meet you last year at opening, which was great. And I'll tell you guys right now, like, I started following this man because of that, because he's completely genuine, he's nice, it's hard on YouTube to find nice and genuine and popular at the same time. So I'm thrilled you were.
Spend like a couple days with me, then we'll see what you think after just a couple days.
Okay,
of me like just not like, yeah, it'll be genuine, but it's not going to be fun. But it'll be there. It'll be something. But thank you. Those are very kind words.
I try to be kind.
Yeah, and I have to say, I met him last year, and he was very kind, very genuine, real. Hard to find that these days.
Yeah,
hardworking.
Those are good lines.
Surprise! I got my own cards here.
Oh no, I wasn't ready. So the first video on your channel I ever saw, and I hate to say it because it's one of the least viewed. But I love it. Your cover for Slayer's Next.
Oh wow. Okay. I mean, that's cool. I'm glad you saw that one. That was a request that a patron gave me that one and said they wanted to hear me do it. So I was willing to do it because they were like, as a patron who was willing to support me financially. So at that time, I had a tier pledge that if you pledge this amount, you can request a song, and I will guarantee do it. And that was their choice. So that's why I did the Slayer's opening, which it was a fun one. It was good. It was just, I wish I could have. I probably should have done a longer version. But at that time, I was trying to do like a cover every single day for a week. So I just did the one TV opening and then moved on. But I'm glad you liked that one. That's perfectly fine.
Well, Lena's my lock screen right now, so like that. Well, it's a timer right now.
It's like
because we're on a schedule.
No, look at that.
Yeah, my lock screen is a counting clock. I just really like how it looks. I was gonna ask, how do you approach a song like that has no official English soundtrack to it?
Well, in most cases, with that particular one, I use someone else's English lyrics, just for the sake of time. But when it comes to other songs where I write my own lyrics or write my own English lyrics, you just try to find a couple of translations online from people who either native speakers or just very comfortable with the language, who know how to translate it to something that isn't just a direct translation, but gets the meaning of the song, the feel of the song, vibe of the song, whatever adjective you want to use. And then you work from there to try to derive. For me personally, I don't always go for a word-for-word translation when I do my English covers of Japanese songs. I try to get the feel right. And it has to sound like, syllables-wise, it needs to line up, because that really defines, the identity of a song half the time, is how it's sung. So just line up the syllables right, have the words make sense, have the meaning of the song intact, and that, for me, that's usually what I go for. I don't care if you include a certain phrases are iconic, like they'll sing a Japanese song, they'll sing a phrase in English, and it's like, well, I can't not include that, So, but otherwise, I just try to keep the feel, the meaning of the song intact. That's my ultimate goal, because that's what you're trying to do anyway. It's just convey the meaning of the song. The perfection be darned. Okay, I know there are a lot of purists, but for me, it's just I want you to understand the song before I start throwing very poetic Japanese direct translation, flowery descriptions at you, which is what a lot of it is. Yeah. It's surprisingly very haiku-like. But yeah, that's how I usually approach it.
Is there anything particular that draws you to the songs that you do cover? Is it
just musical influences half the time, or a show I really like, or doing something that's out of my comfort zone that I'm not familiar with? So doing a song that's like all female vocalist led, that is high up there, really high in the register, or particularly really low. But most of the time, it's just what I musically like a lot, and if I watch the show. I don't always watch the show. Definitely don't always watch the show, but sometimes that plays a factor. If I like the show a lot, I'll cover it anyway. That's like Fullmetal Alchemist. Like, I cover that because I like the show. Right. And there's still plenty of openings left to do that I haven't done, but that was because I like the show a lot.
So something that's a particular challenge is a draw.
Yes. Sometimes if it's a challenging track, like There's a handful of them that are just really fast. They're hard to sing because they either stay up in an upper register, which I'm not comfortable with doing the entire song, or they're really fast, so you have to spit words out really quickly. The translation's really difficult. So it's one of those things where I think whether you know it or not as a listener, you know the song's difficult, you know the song is interesting and fun to listen to because of how complex it is. So if I can do that well, do it right, and translate it into like an English version or just do my own cover of it with a couple spins on it, it will translate to the audience well, and they'll be like, wow, that's really cool, that's really impressive. So challenging songs are often sometimes my favorite ones to do because of how much people appreciate them. And I love people having really high expectations of a song that's really difficult and trying to meet them or surpass it. So yeah, every now and then it just keeps things interesting to do something a little challenging.
Yeah, I asked because I've seen you at the end of some of those songs where it looks like you're trying to keep your brain from escaping your skull.
Well, that's because I usually, to the best of my ability, I try to do a lot of my covers in one take or just a handful of takes, like 2 takes, and I might splice in some audio from each take, from like the 2 or 3 takes into 1 take and keep 1 video file. But I try to keep it authentic in just a 1-take thing because people notice. You know, when you're singing on camera live, or when you're lip syncing, people know the difference. They always know the difference. So I try to keep that authentic, and my reactions are true. Like on camera, I try to keep those as real as I can. I don't think about it. If I'm really exhausted at the end of the song, I'm not going to try to pull it together, you know, to look like, okay, I'm good. I'm a good singer. I got it. I handled it. It was easy, you know, because part of my appeal, if I were to try to understand what it is, it's that I look like I'm not supposed to be able to do half the things that I'm doing. At least that's if I'm just trying to outer body look at myself and see what do people like about me. I think that's it. Is I just look like I'm there. What's the word I'm looking for? Unassuming. You know, just like, oh, what's this nerdy looking big bearded guy gonna do? And then I do that. So it's just my whole entire career is based off of like taking out your presuppositions about me and any kind of like assumptions you might make about how I'm gonna sound or what I'm gonna look like. You know, I'm fine with that though. Not judging a book by its cover, having that just be kind of my motto. But yeah.
How much thought goes into maybe branching into an original work or a full album of songs?
In terms of when it comes to albums, like cover albums, that's just compiling a list of them that make sense together, and then releasing that, getting art and things like that, and having it all be cohesive, making sure the songs follow each other well, so you can listen to it as a whole album. When it comes to original music, that's something I'm delving into this year, been delving into, and really trying to figure out how I want to go about that, because I think that's every cover artist is. How much cover artists enjoy covering other people's music varies greatly, but I think all of them do have some kind of an aspiration to do their own music and release it at some point in time, and I'm no different in that regard. It's just finding the right time, finding the right people, and taking the time to really explore songwriting in its fullness, because I had a dad in my house who is a songwriter, who went to California to pursue the dream when he was 20-some-odd years old, stayed there for 2 years, you know, went to 2 different record labels, playing gigs and things like that, and he has this wealth of like 300 songs. So I come from a songwriting background. I just haven't, you know, covering other songs stuck. It's doing well. I'm able to provide for my family, and I'm able to do things with money that I've never been able to do before, and I'm doing something that I like. So I'm just gonna, you almost don't want to shake, you don't want to rattle the cage a little bit, you know, for fear that you fall out from under it. So eventually I'll do it. It's just, maybe one day I'll feel comfortable, but we'll see if that happens.
That's the answer. Tell me about Banda.
Banda, okay. Briefly, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time just kind of like pimping that out, so to speak, but it's an online competition. It's going to be a live streamed competition that's akin, not entirely like, but akin to an X Factor or an American Idol, but except it's a band. And the idea is that we're going to whittle it down to 16 individuals, 4 of which play bass, 4 of which sing, 4 of which drum, 4 of which guitar. And the idea is that we're going to basically, week after week, we're going to basically try to place them together with one another and just kind of do a mixed bag and see who comes out as the best band of 4 individuals. And so it's something like the really old school, okay, I don't know, I can't remember the name of the competition, but the band The Monkees came out of a competition similar to this. And that was like the 60s or something like that. And that's what you're trying to do, is create 4 individuals who never knew each other, all have a passion for music, and I love the concept of putting them in different places each week to see what really sticks. And then they compete against one another each week, and you eventually figure out who the best is. So it's not like people are getting eliminated, so to speak. It's just you take the best that you've got out of all your submissions, and you try to make something that's really special. And there is a winner, but everyone's working at that point. So you come to know these people through the live streams, through interviews, through we're still figuring out some of the format of the show, but it's a really fascinating concept, and I'm a vocal coach, and I'm pretty much just going to be more like a vocal life coach in a way, because it comes to, I've literally taken lessons now on vocally, how to best describe things, how I can best understand and hear someone and give them advice, because whenever I was asked to do it, I just said yes because I love the concept, but I was in no way, and I'm still not to where I need to be an actual mentor coach to people's vocal abilities. I can encourage you all day, but actual vocal abilities, that one I'm still working on. But by the time the competition comes around, and we start really working on things in later September, and when we get there in February, I anticipate I will be ready to be not just the motivator, but also the mentor. So I'm really pumped for it, though. If you haven't signed up yet, you still have time. So yeah, check it out, though. It's something that's never been done before. It's very exciting, and it's going to be going on in February. All free. You just go log online, watch it. Easy peasy.
Okay, let's presume. Yeah. You have a project in mind. It's in your vocal range. There's no boundaries, no limits.
No limits.
YouTube is not being YouTube.
Okay. YouTube's not being YouTube.
Yes. What's the dream project?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Honestly, not to make the question quick, because I like the setup. But I would in a heartbeat do an original album, like in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even bat an eye, because a lot of the apprehension to doing an original album is the fact that it won't be received well. And it's nothing, I'm sure there's maybe questions you have about YouTube as a whole, but it's not YouTube's fault that my original album is not going to do as well as a cover from a Disney movie. Right. Because my channel is centered around covers. If I come out of the woodworks, even though it's music related, so it's not too far off my base audience, but if it's an original, it's not a cover. And I'm a cover artist first, and that's what people know me for. But if YouTube, for whatever reason, not being YouTube, like really promoted it to my subscribers and made a deal out of it and made sure to put it in front of them specifically for that event, then I would 100% like do it in a heartbeat. Maybe there needs to be a system, an economy system. No, that wouldn't be good, because then you just have people with a lot of money. Because I was going to be like, what if you could paid post it like Facebook does for your own subscribers? Now that'd be fascinating. But at the same time, I'm one of those people, and I'm sure a lot of people are just subscribed to hundreds of channels. Because that's me. Think about a cable package. That has you got the first one's like basic 100 channels, then it's like 350, and it's like 700 for the mega. I'm like over here at the 700s. Like I don't even need that many channels. But I just subscribe to it because I like the idea, I like the concepts, I like what they're giving me. And like, how many channels do I actually watch on television / YouTube? 10 at any given time, but I'm subscribed to a lot. It's just backing around. Original album. That's what I would do. I would do an OG album.
I take this answer very personally, as I have a Caleb Hyles has subscribed to your emails. I think it's just because of the panel video I did last year for you guys. So maybe, whatever. It's cool. It was cool. It was just cool to see it come up.
Well, I liked how it was done, so I was like, subscribe. It's what I do.
And if you haven't, why haven't you subscribed to this man? For starters, does amazing covers. He's an amazing person in general.
You're getting too kind about me.
Okay, I'm going
getting too kind. Yeah, now you're making me seem like it's like Jesus, Gandhi, me. Like, hey, I stole that joke, by the way.
But yeah, thank you for joining me.
Of course, absolutely, dude. 100%.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
So we've got a lot more from Metrocon 2018 coming up. Stay tuned to the channel. Always more coming.
Subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. I did it for you.
Thank you.
So you didn't have to.
Thank you. I feel clean.
You gotta say it. Yeah, you feel clean. You feel clean. I feel like I'm not sullied. Dang, that's funny.
Wow.